Right now, I have to stop saying.
Oh,
Not
wow.
today because he's not on the show.
I didn't realize we were going, hey?
No Luds. Sean's here, though. Sam's here. I'm here. Stars get a point. Is that good? Talk about next here on the DLS Stars postgame show.
Get ready, boys.
Well, the last 28 hours hasn't been great for the Dallas Stars. Welcome to the DLS Stars postgame show alongside Sam Nestler. Actually, literally alongside and effectively alongside us. It's our very good friend, Sean Shapiro, who is now hating me already. So it's a great way to start. And our producer, John Andersen, is here repping both misprints and the Red Sox. I love it both. That's an inside joke with the PHLY. We'll get to that later. I'm Owen Newkirk, rocking the new Finnish Mafia t-shirt. It came in the mail yesterday. Today was the first chance for me to wear it because obviously I suit up for Stars home games. It's comfortable. I think it looks great. You should buy one, or you should sign up to be a diehard and pick this as your shirt. It's available now. It's not pre-order. Order. John, where's your Finnish Mafia shirt?
It's on him. Look. Oh, it was on him.
Yeah, put it back up, John, real quick. There it is,
Shrink
Sean.
down, Sean.
Sean, just duck down a little bit. Put your head
There you
right
go.
up. It couldn't have looked any better.
No one,
Sean,
is mine in the mail. No one sent it to me yet.
There you go. Sean's putting out a
Send
call
it
to
back.
action to the diehards to
Going the
send him
Luds
a
approach.
t-shirt. He's waiting for somebody to actually gift it to him. Hey, you've been keeping an eye on a lot of things over the last 48 hours. I said 28 because it started at 2 o'clock Central Time yesterday, give or take, because it was more like 2:20 with the ESPN broadcast yesterday on ESPN ABC, and then ends tonight around 5 o'clock Central Time. One loss in regulation, one overtime point when they had a third period lead and a third period lead. The sky is not falling, but what's your feeling
The sky is falling.
of this weekend, Sean, of Dallas Stars hockey?
It sucked.
That's what I was gonna say.
Well, Sam's going to walk off the show. He has nothing left to say.
Like it was bad. Like they lost a game yesterday. They didn't play well in at all, and then they deserve to lose today based off their effort. Second game of a back-to-back, and so this is why you go on winning streaks before, because they are still 7-1-2 in their last 10 games, and been one of the. I know we can talk a lot about their play one way or the other, but legitimately speaking, and see, I choose a different word there because why not change things up? They are one of the better teams in the NHL the past 10 games. They're winning games. And this weekend they were very bad, and now does this roll over into the next thing? And that's kind of where I keep going with all of this, because is this a bad 28 hours or is this an actual harbinger of things to come? And I think it's just a bad 28 hours, which does allow us to get into some of the other larger conversations about this team and what they really are, because that's the conversation that we now have to have with the Stars about what is going to happen in April. If game one is probably going to be April 19th or April 20th, we don't know for sure, but it'll be one of those two games. When they play the first game in Dallas, likely against Colorado, they're not going to have Miro Heiskanen in the lineup the way it looks right now. So this group is going to be the one that has to figure it out. Is this 28-hour stretch right here, is this reflective of who you are, or is this your wake-up call? And so...
Oh, there goes Sean.
Oh, no, we lost Sean.
Ah,
It's me. Hey, everybody, that's John.
Hey, John's here.
We lost Sean entirely, and it
did he
went
dip or did he?
I think he crashed out, but that's okay. I was going to ask you the same thing.
Ask me.
As John tries to get Sean reconnected.
Hold on, easier.
Oh, okay, he's there.
It sucked.
That was not for dramatic effect. That was, I don't know why.
I feel very dramatic after that.
I yield my time. Mic drop.
Go, Sean.
Yeah, I don't know. I could just go now. I don't know. All of a sudden,
the chair recognizes the distinguished gentleman from Michigan for his remaining time.
I had to reconnect, so my brain probably has to reconnect as well. But
okay, so think about it a second. More than just it sucked.
Yeah, my main question to both of you guys too is it exactly what you just said. This was probably one of the lows, but I also have seen the trend longer than just this past couple days, longer than just this past week, longer than just this past 2 weeks, and that is what I wrote this in my article. I don't know the answer if this is a real problem that they're never going to get out of and it's going to carry into the playoffs, or if this is something that they just need to get through. Because Pete mentioned it, like you go through stretches, you go through, Sean just said it, you go through streaks where you're scoring 5 a night, your goalie's excellent, your coverage looks good, and you're winning every game, and then you go through lows, and we've seen it, but like eventually you snap out of it, and I'm worried that they're low. I'm worried their low is coming too close to the end of the season, and that they won't snap out of it in time for game one. That's where I sit.
So, Sean, I want you to do an exercise for us real quick. So, on your screen, I want you to call up the Stars' schedule, their calendar, or whatever you do. No, not on your fancy screen where you start diagramming plays.
You don't mean that, okay?
I want you to look at the Stars' calendar and go back and
hold
tell
it
me
up to the camera.
Yeah, you don't have to hold it to the camera. We did enough of that the other day.
Yes,
Tell me the last Stars game where you said, wow, they controlled that one for most of, if not all of it. Like that was a really good performance. Like obviously they won 7 in a row and they had points in 10, but for most of those, we were nitpicky about they were outshot, they were outchanced, they didn't have enough puck possession. The other team seemed to do it, but Dallas had great goaltending and timely scoring. So if you go from today backwards, when in your mind was the last game where you went, wow, they really dominated that one? That was a no-brainer win for the Stars.
Based off their standard or based off of because
not just hey, glad you won it. What's the last game? I have one answer for you from me, so you tell me which one you think.
But like they win that Nashville game the other day, right? And they don't play well for the first 40 minutes, and they explode in the final 20-30 of it, and that's a game they deserve to win, and that's so you're talking about a full 60 is basically.
I'm talking about as close. It doesn't have to be like it's hard to dominate a team for 60 minutes in the NHL. But if you say, wow, you were the better team in each of the 3 periods, you were just in control. Now it doesn't mean that you're going to not give up scoring chances or even goals, but the last complete by Dallas Stars standards performance in your mind, and it can go back as far as you have to. That's why I said you can call up the schedule so you can have a visual aid.
Yeah, no, I'm probably my initial thought is going back to that Vancouver game. I know it's one where the one where they won, I think it was 4-1 in Vancouver.
The second night of the back-to-back
after Edmonton, right?
Yeah, and I know they got outshot that game, and it was something like 25-18 shots or something like that. But that was a game where I remember watching the circumstances of that game and being, hey, this is what good teams do in the second game of a tough spot. You went through and you played defensively. And now if you're talking like full-blown foot to the throttle, ran a team out of the building, does it count when you do it to the San Jose Sharks? Because then I probably have to go back even to February 8th. Like that's, to me, it's the LA Kings February 28th, 6-2 win. They were really good in that game. LA, as we were talking with Luds yesterday afternoon, LA left going, wow, that's a really good team over there. We didn't get much. To me, it's the end of February is the last time I've been really thrilled with a full 60-minute performance. Now, look, that's not to say there weren't some good wins in there, right? Finding ways to beat the Blues and the Devils and the Flames in overtime, finding a way to get past the Ducks and the Flyers in overtime, blanking the Minnesota Wild at home. We can see Minnesota can't score goals. They were found a way to win today, but that's sort of the point of this, is that
as Sam said, this has been happening for a while. They have enough quality and enough talent to get themselves through a lot of games. And look, Dallas is in a position a lot of teams would be envious of. They're clinched. They are going to finish probably no worse than second in the division. They have a chance to win the division. They might even win the President's Trophy, although dropping points against the Penguins and the Wild today, especially from winning positions in the third period, that's not going to help their cause.
Let me throw this counter real quick, because it's not counter. I'm not just debating where the Stars are, but let me throw this out there. Do the same for Colorado. Honestly, just I don't know. I know a lot of people here watch the Stars closely and everything like that, but I go through Colorado and you go, like, they have, today is what, April 6th, right? So their schedule was Superior second. They lost to the Red Hot Blues the other night. They crushed Columbus on Thursday 7-3, but that was an absolutely terrible showing in goal. The last place Blackhawks gave them struggles 3-2. They had a 3-2 game against the Flames. They lost to St. Louis. I mean, I got to go all the way back to March 27th to find a game where Colorado did it against a good team. So,
and it was against the LA Kings. Go figure. One of the best teams right now in the league.
Yeah, and I remember the game when they go into they played Detroit. I think it was on March 25th, and that's a game where they got, it was just really bad goaltending, because that's a game where Detroit's playing Alex Lyon in the second game of a back-to-back, where Cam Talbot got hurt the night before, and so they literally Peter Mrazek got hurt the night before. So it's this is, the Stars have to be better. We can call that what it is, but we also have to take a step back for the 1,000-foot view on this as well, because the Colorado Avalanche, and this is not just, oh my God, the Stars are struggling this time of year. Every single team in the playoffs goes through something like this. And now we can get into why. And so we're always worried in hockey, and it's just common. We're always worried that the big bad wolf is under the bed. We're always worried that oh my God, this team is going to crush us because they are going to find the flaws in our system. And every single fan base gets so caught up in all of the flaws their team have. I have a really good friend who's an Avalanche fan who was talking to him the other day, and he's really worried about what the Stars are going to do to the Avalanche. And so if you go through, if you go through this, though, every single fan, you watch your team so much, you find all of your flaws, and you find all of them, and you pick at them over and over and over again. And so you're convinced that the boogeyman is going to come and get you, and it's the Avalanche, when sometimes you're the boogeyman for the other team. So this is not to excuse the last 28 hours or whatever it is that have been absolutely awful and horrible for the Stars. They can't give up shots like this. This trend can't continue, yada, yada, yada. But at the same time, the sky isn't falling, and John can cue the clip.
The sky is falling!
I love it. When you step back from this game and you realize that you got really good goaltending again for the weekend.
Yep.
Is that literally the number one thing the Stars have? Like, we talked so much about how much they can score, and they can. They didn't do it enough today, but is goaltending their number one superpower right now headed toward the playoffs?
I think 100%. I think that if you look at the most consistent thing all season, it's been goaltending in my mind, because Jake had his struggles, but when Jake had his struggles, Casey was amazing. When Casey was kind of a little bit shaky early, Jake was really good. I just feel like, if not both, which we're seeing right now, both guys have been great. One of them has been good all season. And that, to me, I mean, what else has been consistent all year? I guess PK is another one, but that's...
And let's keep saying that it's because they're goaltending that their penalty kill is so good.
So, I mean, I just feel like there has been dips in a lot of things which happen in the season. That's the one that's held them strong, and I think it's a huge part of why they're still where they are and still getting through games.
I know we get accused of being overly optimistic at times, which is silly, because we're literally telling you why they've been sucky lately. But Sean, to me, I don't know if you felt the same way, but going into the third period today, I fully expected Jake Ottinger to continue to frustrate the Wild and get his second consecutive shutout against Minnesota. He looked that dialed in. He was completely unflappable for the first 40 minutes. And the two goals were kind of fluky. One was Matt Boldy's swatting one from his knees. The other was Foligno going to the net and nobody really pushing back, and some weird coverage things. We'll talk about that in our next segment. But did you feel like it wasn't that long ago we were talking about Jake Ottinger needs to get his playoff form back? It looks like it's back.
Yeah, I mean, he was really good. The stretch in the third, there was I think Jake actually created some more problems for himself than he needed to today. I thought he was really, he stopped the pucks, but there was a stretch in the third period. You guys might remember he went for effectively to freeze the puck and then try to make a little short shovel pass and actually almost whiffed, and it almost led to some more zone time for the Wild. So I think from a puck stopping perspective and everything like that, like Jake has been really good, and that consistency has been there. Maybe a little bit of game management to talk about in the third period, but that's just like when we did the Nashville show the other day, Owen. It's where we're finding things to nitpick because that's how good he's been. To me, one of the spots is if you look through the West right now, and your goalie is going to have to, in the playoffs, your goalie's either going to have to equal or outplay the other guy. That's just the reality. And of the 8 teams in the playoffs, and right now I have a hard time seeing Calgary get in with Minnesota getting the point, and it's a lot of ground to make up in such a small amount of time. But other than Connor Hellebuck and the way Jordan Binnington's playing right now, is there any series where Jake goes in and you're like, wow, the Stars don't have an advantage in goal? And I think that's an important thing when everything goes to the playoff scope of where things go. That's going to be, you're going to win the goaltending battle in the first round, likely. You're going to have a chance to win the goaltending battle in the second round, depending on who it is. But at least you're going into that fight with that way, as opposed to what some other teams might have.
Up next in the Stars postgame show, let's break down the game. We'll talk about the goals, the plays that happen, some of the calls maybe. We'll do all that next here on DLLS.
The cells in our bodies are the building blocks of life. Timeline is a supplement that works with those cells to give you more energy, feel stronger during your workouts, and preserve health and mobility as you begin to age. We know Lutz is fine. We can hear Sean tapping away. The patented ingredient is MitoPure, a postbiotic nutrient that clears our dysfunctional mitochondria, aka the cell's battery packs. A lot of science there, but get ready to be your best, most energized, and most revitalized you. MitoPure recharges your cells, helps your body system to work better, and is the only supplement proven to rejuvenate health at the cellular level. Right now, Timeline is giving you 10% off your order of MitoPure. Go to timeline.com/DLLS today to get started. That is, once again, timeline.com/DLLS to get started.
Thank you, Sam. Let's talk about the American Rodeo. The richest weekend in rodeo returns for one weekend only at Globe Life Field. Don't miss as the world's top rodeo athletes compete against the brightest rising stars in the sport for over $3 million in prize money. World champions Haley Kinsel, Stetson Wright, Jackie Crawford, and Casey Field return to Globe Life Field with an American Rodeo title on the line. Come for the rodeo and stay for the party. The hottest stars in country music take the stage all weekend long. Friday night features country music artist Bailey Zimmerman, and Saturday night is headlined by Riley Green with special guest Ella Langley. Hurry, tickets are going fast. Get yours now at AmericanRodeo.com and get ready for a weekend of high-flying rodeo action and the best in country music. It's back-to-back nights of unmatched competition at the American Rodeo. Friday is the final qualifying round where dreams are made or broken. Then Saturday, it's the championship round where the best of the best go head-to-head for the ultimate title. One weekend, 2 unforgettable nights in Arlington. All right, so let's go through this one. Sean, we had this yesterday, an early power play. I referenced our old friend Willie Desjardins' disdain for early power plays because it can lead to a soft opening for your roster. That happened again today, except their Mikko Rantanen had a fantastic chance that Philip Gustafsson made a great save. Unfortunately, of the Stars power plays today, that was probably their best chance before Robo had one that hit the post in the late part of the third period. What do you think? Do you agree with Willie's take about the sort of softening of a group early in a game by having a power play and not really getting into the fight and the compete?
First off, why did Is there a Willie Desjardins connection to what's his face who just popped up on the screen? Why? What's the tie right there?
No, it's the post. Been doing that for months, Sean.
See,
I do the funny on-screen things. You do the hockey takes. Continue.
What,
I
the
can't
post?
see it from here though.
Yeah,
I didn't even see it either, but I love it. I'm here for all the shtick.
This is new. This is news to me. But it's a good bit. It also John, I thought you were putting it in there because Post Malone looks like Tyler Sagan if you put face tattoos on Tyler Sagan. So I thought it was a Tyler Sagan bit. I got our bits confused. I'm sorry.
Sean, rub both your brain cells together really hard.
It's been a long day of hockey for Sean. He's seen way too much. It's like Wayne's World. He's been hockeyed out instead of partied out.
It has been a long
Watched
day.
Austin Powers last night.
Non sequitur.
Yeah.
Oh, Squirrel's been off the board since Sam's been gone. I'll have to put it back on.
We've been
Squirrel!
I haven't had enough.
So nice.
I haven't
to
had
Sam.
enough energy to do squirreling in my own day-to-day life. Sean, continue.
What we were talking about? We were talking about posts.
No, we were talking about getting an early power play, but then Jason Robertson scored. Speaking of posts, this was not a good goal from Philip Gustafsson.
No, it was not.
It went off of his body and in. That should never go in for an NHL goalie. Hey, Posty.
No, it was really bad. That was really bad, and that was from a Wild perspective. If they're going to lose this game, that's one of the moments you kind of circle going through, especially when it's still 1-0 going into the third, where you can't have that. No matter how well your goalie's playing, you can't give up the bad goal this time of year, and that would have been kind of one of those circling defining moments where maybe if Calgary catches them, those are the type of goals you can't give up. So that was awful. That was really bad.
Nice drop pass by Rantanen, though. I did like that.
How about that?
He just draws people to him. I like that part of his game.
Rantanen didn't score a goal today, but he had a couple of big-time chances. He absolutely looks like he was due. I thought he was going to be the one that scored the game-winning goal when it was 2-2.
I feel like they need him to, right? And that's coming with the adjustment to the team, but that's the moment.
So.
We both said it. Like, that's where Rantanen comes into play.
Totally. Stars were outshot by Minnesota, but the chances were 9-5 in the first. I didn't feel like it was all that bad. In fact, I didn't have the Wild for a single quality scoring chance, high danger one in the first period, even though they led in shots and everything. It was just Stars were covering them. However, Sam, what is going on? What bad juju do we have to erase for the Dallas Stars with Oscar Beck and Rope Hintz?
I mean, the good news is both of them returned. Let's start with that. But from the drop of the puck, 8 seconds in, Oscar Beck gets checked from behind and face plants into the boards. The guy who's got the broken jaw and the braces and everything else going on with his face. Then he gets Esa Lindell's shot deflected off a stick right into his jaw, on the side of his cheek there, or the side of his jaw there. He leaves the game. Then, which we figured out later, we didn't have the broadcast playing because we had the Rangers game going on as well. But we heard later that right as Beck stepped back onto the bench, Rope Hintz gets hit in the face with the backhand and leaves. I don't know if he left and went to the room, but he went down the tunnel for a brief time. Like I said, both guys came back. But this is just, if there's any season to really point to and say in 5 years, these guys need to be wearing face protection, this is it. And just, you don't even need to look outside of the Stars. Just show the clips that I think Bob Stern put together, like a compilation the other day.
He it was like a week ago or so. He tweeted out a victory plus montage of all the times Stars players have been hit by a puck, and most of them are friendly fire.
Yep.
One of the two today was not.
Yes. But
one was. It was Lindell's shot went off of, I think it was Brazo.
Yeah, reaching out the stick.
And that was the one that hit Beck.
Yep.
And then Boldy with that backhander from the blue line, just trying to get it in deep, elevated it right up into the face of Rope.
It's crazy.
It's not good. You know what, I thought Dallas had a better push in the second period. I was worried, Sean, because at the back half of the first, it looked like the travel and the back-to-back were starting to show against a very desperate Minnesota team. But Dallas came out and had more shots and more chances, more high dangers in the second period. They did everything but score on Gustafsson. Dumba had a great look. Rantanen had a great one. Harley had one on an open net that Gustafsson got the shoulder on a scramble. Save. I thought the Stars played a really decent second period.
They did a really good job generating chances. I don't think they did a good job getting those second and third chances, though. I think there's a lot of opportunities where, and maybe this is where the legs and the energy from a second game of a back-to-back come into play, whatever excuse you want to use, but there wasn't a lot of, I thought they created, but there wasn't a lot of retrieval. There wasn't a lot of getting to those battles after the save. Like you mentioned, that Gustafsson save where he gets across and gets it with the shoulder. That's a great save, but those are the plays where you want to see kind of the team kind of dig in and get a little bit of a dirty one and things like that. So yeah, creating more, but since this show is apparently all going to be about just ripping this team apart, since that's apparently the process of the show today, their retrievals need to be better. They needed to get way better winning the pucks back in the slot area. They needed to kind of in that right around the area. The Wild did do a good job of lifting some sticks, but maybe the Stars need to lift their sticks. So it's I'll find a negative for everything today if you'd like, because I'll do it.
Sean, I have a question for you actually with that, because a lot of people will say, especially fans, like, and overreaction or not overreaction, whatever you want to call it, they'll call out the effort, right? And that's what a lot of people will say, especially what you just said. If they're not retrieving pucks or whatever, I refuse to believe and will never say that hockey players are not trying, especially on a team that's wanting to win a championship. Maybe you're on a rebuilding San Jose Shark team. You have a couple nights where you just don't put full effort in, but for this team, I'm never going to say, oh, those guys are going out there and they're just not trying. So what is it in your opinion?
Sean's going to push back on that
intensity?
Statement.
What do you see? Yeah,
I can
or
see it
or is it
already.
the opposite?
The pot is starting to roll to a boil.
That's why I'm asking.
There are nights off.
I will say, guys take nights off in the NHL. That is one of the reasons I actually love watching junior and AHL hockey, is because there's actually not nights off in junior and AHL hockey, because everyone is effectively fighting for a job. Everyone is fighting to move up. Everyone is to do all that. So in the NHL, I will push back that there are definitely guys who take nights off in the NHL. It is, it's why we talk about players like, oh, how good is his B game? Well, a lot of times guys are playing that B game because they've decided that tonight is the night they're not really pushing. The league is so well protected. Players are so well protected from their contract status and everything like that, that you can take nights off. The other big thing, effort-wise, too, is this is going to be kind of breaking news, so we should clip this, John, but the other team also wants to win the hockey game. Oh. Believe it or not. The other team would like to win the hockey game and is playing where they have been struggling, and they know the Flames are pushing, and they know that it's a team playing the second game of back-to-back. So the Wild know we should be able to push these guys around. Some of them are going to be in survival mode tonight because they're playing the second game of a back-to-back. So if you want to find your where the hell were they moment tonight, and you want to circle it on a guy, and I know this is going to lead to people getting mad at me, but whatever, let's do it. Where's Jamie Benn tonight? Jamie Benn didn't play the second game of a back-to-back, and I know he's kind of not coming off an injury, but you're going to the second game of back-to-back. You've watched the last two games. You're the captain that they'll follow you to the end of the world, no matter where you go. So where's he? Where's he tonight? Where's he the one driving that? So that's I
said it pregame. I said Jamie Benn. Matt Duchene called Jamie Benn a 10 out of 10 captain. These are the type of nights they need him to drag them into the fight. They're tired. He knows they're not playing as well as they should be. He had the rested legs. That's the kind of time where you want to see Jamie Benn flying around, getting in people's faces, and just getting other people a little bit more intense, is what I'll call it.
If you're gonna be a 10 out of 10 captain, you need people. You need to. These are the games you need to step up and deliver for your team. And this is. I have never doubted Jamie Benn's quote-unquote leadership with the Stars. There's no question who the leader in that room is. But it's completely fair. In his tenure in Dallas, the team has started slow for a decade now. It's his start game slow. And it's gone through when Pete DeBoer was the coach, Jim Montgomery was the coach, Rick Bowness was the coach, Ken Hitchcock was the coach. Same coach. Different coach. Basically, the one connecting factor through all of this has been Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin, and that's the leadership group that everyone talks about. Hey, he's our guy. We'll follow him no matter where you go. So they start games slow. Sometimes when they play the second game of a back-to-back like this, they don't really they go into survival mode really early. I mean, there's times where the Stars follow. There was a time in the league before the Renaissance and I used the Benetton stuff 2-3 years ago. There was a time in the league where one of the notes, and it still exists because I've talked to other teams about it. One of the notes about Jamie Benn as a player is don't poke the bear. It's literally something that they talk about. Hey, if Jamie Benn is just mulling himself along and he's not in the game, don't engage him, because if you go and poke him and get him going, all of a sudden that's when he wakes up. So don't give him anything to wake up. And there's times where the Stars effectively, I'm using it right now because I don't care, they effectively reflect what Jamie Benn is as a player. So if you're the Minnesota Wild or you're any team, you're like, all right, when we're playing this team, if we play boring and play the way Minnesota did and you win your battles, but if you don't draw them into the fight, don't do it for them. Like, force them to wake themselves up. And so Sam, and this is nothing against Jamie, but it's just the reality. Everyone talks about their captain as a 10 of 10 captain. Of course. There's 32 10 of 10 captains in the league, because I think everyone has one now.
I really want to meet the guy that goes, yeah, my guy's like a 6.5.
So.
Well, Sean, keep that overly optimistic, bubbly, cheery personality, because you've got an ad read.
For the ad read? For an ad read, yeah.
Your Super Chats next year on DLLS.
Oh, man. All right, let's get happy, everyone. For happy.
What if I told you?
for Happiest Hour, the best place to watch sports. 40-plus TVs, massive jumbo LED screen, 50-plus beers on tap, and a game day atmosphere like no other. They've got basketball arcade games. Happiest Hour is the go-to destination all tournament long. They have team Happytizers and cocktails. Big games call for big bites and brews. Our team-size Happytizers serve 4+, making them the perfect shareable snack for you and your squad. Pair the Pop-A-Shot Poppers with our beer tower for the ultimate game day grub while you cheer on your team. It's championship game watch party, which I believe is tomorrow. And as Owen informs me, the bracket is still going on. The madness reaches its peak with the championship game watch party on April 7th, tomorrow, where we'll crown the happiest bracket challenge champion with their grand prize and more giveaways for attendees. Go to Happiest Hour, where they are much happier than I am right now.
Mic drop. Start hitting that keyboard. Let's talk about game time. You want to get the best place, or you want to know the best place to get sports tickets for concerts, comedy, theater. Let's talk about a couple big sports. Use Game Time. GameTime.co is their website. Just download their app. They have a feature called Game Time Picks. It filters out all the fluff, gives you only great deals on a fabulous tickets. I got a couple of great deals for you. Tuesday night, Stars versus Canucks. It's Wyatt Johnston bobblehead night. How do you not get that? Wednesday night, Lakers and Luka at the Mavs. Thursday night, Stars Jets. What a 3-day span at the AAC. You go to Game Time, find your tickets today. Why? Because it's the best way to get those deals. And you should take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Just download the app, create an account, use the code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Create an account and redeem the code DLLS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Sam, what time is it?
Game time.
All right.
We're allowed to do that again?
Yes.
Love it.
We have that and the other one, so I can alternate. Isn't that fun? All right. It's Super Chat time. And boy, do we have some. I knew people were fired up before we even started the post-game show. If you think Sean isn't happy enough and you want to cheer him up even more, get to those Super Chats right now. Smash that like button. I'm dropping the QSC.
Smash it like Sean smashes his keys.
Bing bang.
I have to censor Mark Stone again. This is becoming a theme. Mark, no swears and nothing in your name that might not some people might not like, please, but we will put it on the screen.
Okay, we're putting it on the screen.
So redacted.
I love it. The whole thing was just white.
No matter what, Mark, first off, love his sense of humor. Everything he does creates more work for me. T Farmer, can you please give him crap for this?
With a Mark Stone something edited here, redacted. We're going to go with the CIA's redacted.
Like that's effective.
Lundqvist and the year after the cup for Mark Stone. Redacted. Observation. Pete is talking and this team isn't listening.
Files.
What's that?
So it looks like the JFK files.
It does.
Oh, forensic files.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
The team not listen to Pete? I don't think that's the case. As Sean frantically beats on his keys without muting his mic so everybody can hear. Your keyboard is louder than you. I don't know what the microphone situation is.
Is your mic like on the desk?
Yeah, is it coming from the computer instead of your headset?
As John will know, apparently they were going to send me.
It's on the way.
It's been on the way since September.
It's coming with your Finnish Mafia shirt.
By the way, D-Stars Diehard at the Cosm event asked me when we were sending Sean a mic.
Makes sense. We don't know the answer.
Free Sean's mic.
And then he proceeded to chirp GM Ben, who ignored the comment.
Yeah, well, he's watching the show right now, so he can't ignore it.
Pete DeBoer is in year 3 coaching this team. And to push back a little bit on Owen's comment here, I'm not saying the Stars players are tuning Pete DeBoer out, but it's a lot easier to get all jazzed up to listen to your coach in year 1 and year 2. And they are. So I'm not in that room. I'm not on that bench to know that they're not listening to Pete DeBoer. But one of the things about Pete's history as with teams, and this is just if we want to add truth to some things, Florida Panthers, he was there for 3 seasons. The New Jersey Devils, he was let go in the middle of season 4. The San Jose Sharks, he was there for a while, for 5 seasons. But Vegas, he was let go at the end of season 3. Pete DeBoer, historically speaking, in year 3, loses his team. And this is just, I'm not saying that's happening on the bench.
Oh my God, you're going to make me be a Pete DeBoer shill now. What is this? I have to take the mantle and defend the coach. He has the 3rd best record in the NHL, people. They've lost 2 games, one of them in overtime, in the last 3+ weeks. It's okay.
Yes, that's fine. But if people want to say, they're listening or they aren't listening to Pete, that's what it doesn't. This part doesn't matter. They might not be. We don't know if they are.
That's true.
The fact is, we don't know if they are one way or the other. So it's not a blanket. Oh, they're definitely listening to him. It could be they're not. So I'm pushing back on the. Oh well, that's not the case. Well, it could be the case. It could be. I don't know.
You're in the studio. You don't have to raise your hand.
I have a question for either one of you that wants to answer, because I think this is going to be asked multiple times.
Can I answer it?
Yeah, John, you can answer too.
Please pose it to John.
Let's go full negative.
Okay.
Let's say this. Let's say all of the stuff is. I'm only saying it for the fact of this question. Let's say all this stuff is true. This team's falling apart. Leadership's wrong. They're not doing well. Mm-hmm. What actually has to happen? Is it a players' meeting? Is it words from the coach, which you're saying may not be the case? How do you get out if we're calling this a full rut for this team? What do you actually have to do to get out of it?
Is it a full rut?
I'm saying if it is. That's all I'm saying. If you are in it, because if the coach can't do it and a players only meeting doesn't do it, what does it? What happens to get out of it and find your game?
Well, if you believe my Commodore, you got to get in one. Full rager. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's a full rut. I think the team, whether they're delusional or not, and whether you agree with their line of thought, they've won. Okay, I'm going to number you for a second, so I apologize for those that start to tune out. Luds isn't here today because he would go wah wah wah. In the last 45 games, the Dallas Stars are 31-9-5. That's 67 points out of a possible 90 points. 67 of 90. That's almost 750 point percentage.
You know what is going to be important to this team? And you talk about, Sam, if they really are in this rut, and I think this will help. Whether they're in a rut or they're just slightly off kilter, one of the things that I think will help this team, whether it's April 12th, 14th, 16th, whatever day it happens, when Tyler Seguin is back in the lineup, Jamie Benn becomes a better captain. And that is, I got you guys to nod in sync right there. That was really cool.
Because it's very true.
Yeah. But there is Jamie Benn has a leadership style. I talked about his leadership style and everything. He needs a lieutenant that is a yapper. He needs somebody who is going to is going to speak more, is going to take some of those public facing roles, is going to you can't be the stoic, dramatic leader without the second in command that delivers a lot of your messages. And when Joe Pavelski was gone, ding. And when Tyler Seguin got hurt, he lost a lot of that. And so the Stars will be a better team when Tyler Seguin is back in that locker room. This is one of those games where first period intermission or whatever, probably yesterday, Tyler Seguin is the guy who at this point in his career steps up and brings the group together like that. And the Stars will be, no matter how good Tyler Seguin is on the ice, he will make this team better when he's back in because of that dynamic.
I have the second part to that answer because Sean is absolutely right. John, can I get an ISO shot for a minute, please, so they can read it? Can you read that, or is it white?
It's not focusing.
Is it too far away?
You didn't white balance it.
You want me to hold it up?
You gotta white balance before we go.
It's right there. You can't see it. I didn't scribble it. It says Miro, Miro. Since Miro's been hurt, the Stars have had good results as far as wins and losses, but their shot differential, the way they control games, has gone completely on a 180. We talked about this. We did a mini pod about it where you can see that from really controlling games to finding ways to win while they don't control games. It's been a massive difference. Miro Heiskanen is part of what they miss, and you can't just paper over that. Can they win a first-round series without him? Yes. Would you like to see that? Probably not. It's going to happen. Sean, you just heard it on the broadcast yesterday. We all heard it. He's not playing in the first round. That's what the team is expecting.
Bing bang.
I don't think they're going to surprise us with a sudden change. All right, let's go to the next one.
Sean goes, whoops.
Are you just going to bing bong? I was on my soapbox. Let's go to the next super chat.
I had to.
It's Mark Stone again. That's why I have to have a button now called Censor Mark Stone.
Oh, it is.
Board.
Oh, okay. Another one says the Stars play hunted, not the hunter. It feels rather toothless for a while now. If you were quick enough, John, to have a picture of Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon, I would be really impressed. I would not bring that up in front of Luds because there's no chance Luds knows what that is.
My point, and I'm going to ask Sean. Sean called it the best, and I said it yesterday in pregame. You want to see this team dictate. I think I don't know who we were talking about, Detroit, someone like that. We were saying, is it hard to play against a team that plays like this?
Hold on.
Rather than that, dictate it. And I agree with it.
Zen. Owen is such a homer.
Hold on, let me take down Mark Stone's censor button.
A homer?
Oh, Sam and I
just said that the Stars' shot differential has taken a nosedive since Miro got hurt, and I'm a homer for that?
I think that's
he also said he loves you, so
I love him, but
love him, but or love his because I'm trying to find a positive vein so that you don't have to go diving off a cliff because they lost 2 games in a row over a weekend.
The sky
is homer.
Falling.
Sean calls it a kerfuffle.
I did find it comical how Sam brought up players-only meetings after a 0-1-1 weekend.
Yeah, that is ridiculous, guys. Like, for everybody that wants to hear us just tear into the Stars, they're what?
Only reason I brought it up is because yesterday they didn't let us go in the room for an extended period of time until after the game.
But they're 8-1-3 in their last 12
So you're
games.
reporting that they had a player.
No, I was just saying that I was curious because it was brought up to my attention that may have been what's happening, and I figured
Sam Nestler, DLLS reports Stars had a player-only meeting after 1 loss after winning 10 straight.
All right, let's go to the next one because I'm just getting worked. Sean's getting me worked up. I'm just going to start yelling.
We can get worked up when they go 0-for-13 on the power play in the Eastern Conference or Western Conference Finals.
Socially distant?
Social distant.
With
social distant. It's French.
Yeah, I actually think the D is in the social. It's social instant.
The E is silent.
Social instant.
Social is tant.
Social E distant. It's like a middle name.
Okay. Well, either way, I think the Stars should shoot the puck more.
Like yeah, they should.
March 18th against Anaheim was the last time they won the shot battle in a game. That's unacceptable.
Yeah,
and many of them, I think it's 4 out of the last 8 they've allowed 40.
And I'm definitely in the camp of shots don't tell the whole story. I was whining at Sam today because Minnesota, whoever's tracking their shots, their offensive officials,
he's hammering away.
Itchy trigger finger. There's some ridiculous ones that aren't shots.
It's like Sean typing.
Or like Sean typing. That's good. I like that, John. But circumstances are different. If you're up 5-1 in the third period and you're managing the game, the other team is flinging everything in the kitchen sink trying to get back in the game. They might carry the shot attempts and shots, but that doesn't mean they have a chance in the game. So everything you have to look back and look at context. But the fact that it's been that long, as Sean said, what was it, March? What day against
18th.
Anaheim? 18th.
March 18th against the Ducks, yeah.
That's not ideal.
He's for sure going to call you a homer again.
Who?
Zen.
Go for it, Zen. Whatever.
I can see it. My computer's over here, but I could tell.
Okay, let's go ahead.
I can sense it in my Zen.
I'm loving all the positivity from the fans.
Oh, another one.
I think socially distant is perpetually sarcastic. I'm starting to learn. There's another one. There's another one. From...
Keep going. It means you have to throw your hat.
Here, I'll skip. So
Socially
we go
distant.
straight to it, but
Hey, another Heiskanen. I lost track. Do we effectively want Steve Spot effectively fired again? You know what's interesting,
I forgot
though?
about that. That was a long time ago.
The Stars power play didn't make it.
I hit the light.
Hit the light again. Didn't turn
Well,
it
at
off
least you
this
didn't
time.
turn off the light this time like last time. I didn't think you
fancy.
could do that twice.
All right, I fired it. I can't throw it to you, though.
What's going on over
I have
here?
no appendix.
That's true. He doesn't.
I should throw you a back shoulder fade on the set right now that you have to go up for.
Talking about Steve Spot, the Stars power play went 0 for 4 today. They've been resurgent since middle of January, where they were basically 30% since January 12th. But more recently, 7 for 37, which is about 20%, which isn't awful, but game like today, a power play goal would have gone a long, long way.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for joining our show. Let's go to the next Super Chat.
I was reading text from Lud.
Bing bong.
I was Lud texting.
Tommy Carlson with a Brendan Smith and a year after the cup. Another game giving up 40 shots. Breakouts are thumbs down. That is where they miss Miro Heiskanen so much.
And to kind of speak to all of the frustration with the fan base right now, it's no longer hey, he's going to parachute back in for game 1 of the playoffs.
Yep.
That kind of there, and this is where I think people kind of get a little bit more where there's more of the sky is falling and everything like that. And it's the matter of this. It used to be that there's a chance that, hey, Miro's going to be back for game 1. This is just like a team playing without their quarterback, but they'll be back for the playoffs. So it's not really a big deal. Now that we've gotten the update that they expect Miro not for round 1, and Jim Nill has kind of been openly publicly about that, and with the ESPN broadcast of all places, there is now the fear of, okay, they have to figure this out. They have to figure this out with the group they currently have. And the reality is, though, it's just going to be way more on Thomas Harley. It's going to be there's other players. It's going to have to be the Stars are going to have to win with this defense on breakouts in a very ugly manner. And I think that's one of the things that people don't like. People don't like that they have to accept that about the Stars. I think that's one of the things that can be frustrating. You think, oh, my team's a cup contender. And they are a cup contender. And if they can get through round 1 without Miro, you know what? I feel pretty good about their odds.
Same.
But people don't like looking at the ugly reality of there is going to be a big thing. There is a huge hurdle here that's going to need to be crossed in the playoffs, especially when another team sits down and actually preps for you every single game. So take it to the ad break, Owen.
Thank you very much, Sean. More Super Chats next here on DLLS. Let's talk about the Finnish Mafia shirt.
Nervous.
Pretty comfortable, pretty sharp, I think. You can download or get your Finnish Mafia shirt just simply by using that QR code. Scan that or go to alldls.com and signing up to be a diehard. You can pick the Finnish Mafia shirt as your free t-shirt for signing up for your annual subscription with DLLS. Or if you're already a diehard, do you know diehards get 20% off all merchandise? You can go to the DLLS website again, alldls.com, sign up, go to the merch page, and you can purchase and order your own shirt.
Maybe we have some other shirts in the works, eh?
We do. We just need the days to drop them when we have a couple more Stars ones possibly on the way. Sean would be fun to play golf with. We have a golf tournament. You get 20% off as a diehard for signing up, and so for all events. Sean is currently available. Sean, do you want to give us your
in person? He's not going to be on the video screen on the golf cart.
Would you like to give your 10-second pitch as why somebody should buy your foursome? You and Sean and 3 other golfers.
It would have been better if actually I wasn't going to be there, and if I just had Sam doing the surrogate from Arrested Development.
With Sean's face on a TV that we wheeled around.
Yeah, just sitting on
just like a dummy sitting in a golf cart.
Yes.
Wife.
Yes. No, I will. Yes, I will actually be there in person, and depending on the time, If you and your group want to meet me in person before Sam, I can intentionally hide from Sam for 5 or 6 days or whatever it is. So,
keep the bit going.
It'll happen.
So we can do that. And come play golf with me. Owen and Luds will be playing as well. I'm gonna make sure Ben tries to put our group semi nearby so we can all have a good time. And we will drink beverages. It won't be as heavy as Luds, but we will do more. And now we're done with the ad break.
Sign up to be a diehard. All right, more super chats. Let's get going.
Can we knock out the sleeper leaderboard first?
Oh yeah, that's right. We almost forgot because we were too busy ranting about me being an unabashed homer of everything Dallas Stars.
I hit on both my Stars ones today, man.
Did you?
Yep.
Yeah, but you got to hit on all of them.
Well, the Penguins haven't played yet.
Sidney Cross. Oh, okay.
They haven't played yet.
So Sam has a chance. Well, the leaderboard, which we need a full-blown audit because we've done more than 7. I won one. John won a couple. And are we picking one pick here?
What I'm wondering is I submit separate ones to Bobby that aren't on our show, and I'm wondering if that's what the leaderboard is.
What are you doing?
What's the point of doing that if we don't say them on the show?
I'm just telling you that I have a job to do 3 days a week, and I do it separately.
No, I'm not saying it's your fault.
Yeah.
No, but we need to get to the bottom of this because
I'm
there's
definitely the best looking on the leaderboard, though.
There's no way we should be at the bottom of the leaderboard for DLS. There's no way.
At least put all of our names if you're going to put us in dead last.
No, actually, I'm
putting
fully
me in the front of it.
I don't know about John, but I'm fully on board with Sam taking all the heat for that.
I'm out for 3 weeks, and I'm still losing in 4th place.
All right, super chats, hit us up. Let's go.
Where did we leave off?
Bing bang.
Reed Thomas
censored
with a Madonna 99 cup here. Been trying to be patient with this team, but it seems like DeBoer can't fix the leaking. Time in ozone, horrible 40-plus shots on goal against consistently. Puck handling bad. CC and Labushkin bad. No discipline. It's funny because I completely sympathize with the feelings because you want to see the Stars look like they did in the 3rd period against Nashville and just steamroll the entire hockey NHL. It's not going to happen, right? It's simply not. But Dallas has been on the wrong side of tilted ice way too many times and still getting wins. And look, as much as everybody wants, it's amazing. I think all our fans are Dutch soccer fans because they want to play the beautiful game. It's not just about Brazilian soccer. It's Dutch. Ask Sean. He knows. Right? It's called football, and it is style over just...
On Bronkhurst. Brokers. What was his name?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He was a good attempt.
Here's the thing. You need to understand that the object is to win the game. The Stars have won a heck of a lot more games than they've lost, but we all want them to win in dominating, stylistic fashion that you can walk around and go, my team is way better than your team. But if you look at the standings, they're pretty darn good.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, the penalties, I was going to bring this up in pregame, it's not drastic. Like, it's not like they're dead last. But if you look at, I think it's the beginning of the season to about February 1st, they were top 5 in minors taken. Now they are middle of the pack, 15, 16, 17. So it's not like they're dead last, but that is a significant change in penalties taken to go from top 5 to middle of the pack.
Yeah, that's a disturbing trend, I think, of late, is that they've been a little sloppier. And, okay, this is going to slow us down, but I wanted to talk about this. Let's talk about the penalties today. Sean, did you get a look at the Liam Bichsel tripping call against Ryan Hartman?
I did, yes.
Did you think it was a legit penalty?
That one was a bit rough.
Sam?
That one was...
I didn't see much.
Well, what did you see?
I saw Bichsel kind of lean into him and Hartman feel the contact wherever that was and go down.
So, Sean, again, Luds won't criticize us for talking soccer today. To me, that one was, it was not the simulation. You don't get a yellow card for that, but that is you feel contact in the penalty area and you throw yourself to the ground, allowing the referee to try to make a decision in soccer. It's trying to draw. It's a total dive. He's not going to get fined for it, but it's brutal.
Well, it's Ryan Hartman does what Mason Marchment does all the time. And so you live on that edge, and that's credit to Ryan Hartman for what he did there, but it's not a good call. But that's not why they won or lost the game either.
Not the point.
No,
okay.
Yep.
Next one.
Yep.
Jason Robertson for interference late in the 2nd period. He definitely it's a penalty. I thought Johansson was a little suspect in what he was trying to do. And he slashed Cody Ceci on the hands twice. But it's definitely a penalty on Robo.
Yeah, I think it's a penalty. I think sometimes you just say they did their job. Like Sean just said, he did his job selling it. It was a penalty, and he knew it. So he threw his arms up and his head back, and he got the call. So not a dive or anything like that, but a very iffy call again.
Okay, what about Robo's tripping penalty in overtime?
Penalty.
Yeah, it was a penalty.
Right.
Intent was different.
Right.
But it's a penalty.
But he got in his way.
Yep.
Right. And
intent shouldn't matter on penalties.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
He stuck his leg out not to try to trip him, but try to stay on side. But he caught the guy, and it's a trip. It just feels. Here's my whole thing about it. It's not about the call itself. 2 minutes of 4-on-3 in overtime feels a lot harsher than 2 minutes of 5-on-4. Right?
Yep.
I know. It's the rule book we play. All right, let's go to the next super chat.
Bing bong.
JEF 250 with a Haskinen 99. Luds, if you were the Stars coach, what message would you give them after this loss?
I'll be Luds.
This lost and how they've been playing these past few weeks. Luds, what do you want to say?
I need a Miller Lite.
Perfect. Love it.
I need a Miller Lite.
Next one.
Bing bong.
I'm lost. Too many friggin' buttons in this place. There we go.
Alistair, one of our favorite diehards from across the pond, with I'm going to have to look this one up. A Haskinen 99 in British sterling. Sean, do you have the conversion rate right off the top?
No, I don't. I'm not the one that gets checks from Montreal the way that Lutz
He's
does.
the one who had the Sam sign in Edmonton, I believe.
That's right. He went to the Edmonton and Calgary back-to-back, right?
My favorite.
So the conversion is 1287 currently US, which would be a Boldy Crosby.
Oh, that's way to stick it to the Stars fans. That combination.
It's an interesting weekend. It was totally accidentally, but there you go. But anyway, Alistair says, I wish the Stars would sometimes win in the afternoon when the game is at a reasonable time. Mad how frustrating the third best team in the league can be. They do have an issue.
No, normal time for him. I get
right.
it.
They do have an issue with afternoon games. And when they played last weekend in the afternoon, the comments were, well, we don't do it all the time. Whereas, no, seriously. He's like, so a lot of teams, there are some East teams that play consistently in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm not making excuses, Sean. That's literally a comment that even Lud said. He goes, they just don't have a lot of day games.
A lot of people like them too, which is surprising that the energy isn't higher in a lot of these because a lot of players I talk to like them better, which we like them better.
Are
too,
there
because
any?
We don't get home at 11:30.
Is there a bunch of NHL rookies on this team, or is there Matt Duchene? Is there Jamie Benn? Is there Mason Marchment? Is there a bunch of veteran players? Is there Essa Lindell? Is there Rope Hintz, who's in his mid-20s already? So are we gonna? We don't play these that often. You're in the frickin' NHL, right? Like the other teams play in the afternoon game too. Boo-hoo! You all missed your afternoon nap.
It's not the 9 a.m. AHL game.
I've never been a very good napper.
Yeah,
I'm not good at napping during the day.
I love naps.
I
love
be
a
tired,
good nap. I love a good nap. I took one during the second intermission of this game, actually.
See, there you go.
Could have taken one in the
long
second
day.
period.
Let's go to the next one here.
Yeah.
Bing bong.
Burned Oils with a Lundqvist and Madonna. Sean, yes, 10 out of 10 captains, but grass is greener on our victory green side. Jamie is the best, and he's ready to get us that cup. There's some optimism right
Positivity.
there.
Yeah, and you know what? He is. If Jamie does that, I'm sure he will probably win the weirdest award in the NHL, the Mark Messier Leadership Award, which is just Mark Messier picking the person that he wants to give it to.
I hope one day that there is a Sean Shapiro or Sam Nestler award, and we just get to say that guy. that guy.
More Super Chats in just a minute here on DLLS, but first I'd like to say thanks to everyone who joined on our television platforms. Make sure to like and subscribe here on the pod, and check out alldlls.com. Okay, more Super Chats as we roll through and finish this one off after a 3-2 overtime loss in Minnesota.
Bing bong.
Matthew with a DeSmith and 99 cup here. Does Sagan make it back in time for the Winnipeg game? No.
No.
Bing bong.
14th or 16th.
I love it.
No, give Matthew his time. He spent his hard-earned to Smith in 99 Cup year.
But people deserve the update. Like, I've heard 14th and 16th, and obviously 16th is the last game of the regular season, but I've heard 14th is kind of that day they've circled as the likely Sagan return right now is what I've heard.
They're literally waiting for you to be in the building.
Which is what? Not Utah.
Detroit.
It's in Detroit on a Monday.
How convenient, Sean.
And the Texas Stars play in Grand Rapids on that Saturday. So it is. I scheduled everything that way.
Way to be.
Okay, Burned Oils with a Lundqvist and Lindell. Imagine if we win the President's Trophy and people go, "Oh, this team is so bad. No leadership. Coaches lost the room. No talent." Is that Rolf Copter?
Rafflecopter, I believe.
ROLF.
It's rolling on the floor, laughing. Copter.
He was going for Raffle, but he accidentally did Rolf.
It's Rolf Copter.
Rolling on
the
floor. It's probably French. Rolling on the floor.
On le floor.
From now on, Burned Oils is the Rolf Copter.
Rolf Copter.
Rolf Copter.
Burned Oils, how are you getting to the Stars game on Tuesday? Rolf Copter. Do they have a landing pad for your Rolf Copter? Okay, next one.
Bing bang.
We're getting silly now. Ryan with a Robertson and a Harley. Yes, points are important, but I'm concerned about how they're playing going to playoffs. And the more concerning thing is that it's been consistent. It just hasn't shown up in the results until yesterday, today. He's right. Like, you can be genuinely concerned with their style of play, but you also have to not poo-poo points. Points are ultimately the biggest thing. Talk to Pittsburgh, the Islanders, Utah. I could rattle Boston. Sorry, John. These teams would be dying to be in the Stars position, whining about performance quality while they're strolling into the playoffs.
True.
Well, it's a problem. It's one of the issues with the NHL is not a win-loss league; it's a points league, and that's just
a points
the reality. It is not a coach's job is to acquire enough points to make the playoffs. It's not a coach's job to win X amount of games, and that's just the reality of what the NHL is.
Yep.
So everyone's on that in that. So
Rolf Copter.
Bing bang.
Best super chat of the day so far. Stars 25 Cup year with a Madonna 99. Watching this game is the equivalent of me playing blackjack. I can't put a hand together, get the puck out of our zone, yet the dealer can pull a 7 card, 21. Wild can clear the zone on accident. Look, the Minnesota Wild are not as good as the Dallas Stars this year, but they are still a NHL team, and they still have quality players. I think Dallas is deeper up front, especially with Kaprizov hurt, but like, it's almost insulting to be like, oh, well, you know, they sneezed, they had gas, and all of a sudden they cleared the puck out of their zone. Like, come on. These guys are elite level players in the National Hockey League, most of them.
If you fly too close to the sun, you could get burned.
Is that an Icarus reference?
It's fitting. Title of my article today.
Bing bang.
All right, Tommy Carlson. Sam absolutely confused the entire room, and probably all the viewers too. Lundqvist and year after the Cup. I understand the Miro breakout argument, but there's also 5 of 6 other defensemen. Feels like teams have figured out the high lift breakout, and it's not working. We've been talking about that for a couple weeks. You know, when we lean on Luds for his analysis because he's a savant when it comes to that stuff. Luds, go to your dictionary, look up savant. We'll explain it to you later. And they are scheming for that because, let's face it, if you don't know what the other team's doing after 76, 77 games, you're not doing your homework. And every one of these teams does their video work. They know what they're trying to do.
Bing bang.
Anybody else can jump in if you want to.
Last time I confused everybody, so I'm just going to take a break.
Stars 25 Cup here with another Heiskanen 99. You can't convince me Bischel or Dumba is out of the lineup before Ilya or Ceci come playoff time.
And we lost Sean again.
You know what the interesting thing about that is?
Her profile picture is Bischel.
Well,
I think
Dumba in the lineup over Ilya Lyubushkin or Cody Ceci. How long? It wasn't that long ago when
the opposite.
Everyone was saying Matt Dumba shouldn't even be on the team by the trade deadline.
And
now
the Ceci Lyubushkin has, especially Ceci, has become the new Dumba for fans. And I have tried to watch closely. There are some plays where Ceci, you kind of you shrug your shoulders. You're not really sure what he's doing, but I think it's by far an improvement from the Matt Dumba they had when Matt Dumba was really struggling to get adjusted. So I disagree.
Bing bong.
Matthew with his second of the day. And by the way, Matthew, we're our good friend Matt DeFranks, or Matthew DeFranks, of the St. Louis Times Dispatch. He's the beat writer for the Blues for their newspaper there. He is Matthew of Franks, Sir Matthew of Franks. So to see Matthew Frankie, and we all want to say Matt DeFranks. Hi, Matt.
From here,
By the
looks
way,
like him.
we joked the last time the Stars played the Blues, like, hey, maybe we'll get lucky and see in the playoffs. And we're like, fat chance.
Yeah.
Then they haven't lost in 12 games, and they're going to be in the playoffs, and we might see them. You never know. So, but anyway, Matthew says, does it feel like chasing Winnipeg is putting extra pressure on this team and has a role in how they've been playing? Also, this team is missing Nils, too.
I was actually going to say that earlier. He's a mobile defenseman that makes a good first pass, so that's another point to make. But Sean, I don't think Sean was on yesterday, right? I said the same thing. I said that maybe Dallas not worrying as much about Winnipeg helps them because maybe it is pressure. And Lud said if chasing down a team for a division title is too much pressure, the playoffs are going to be way too much pressure.
Yeah, I agree with that statement. Or if chasing down Winnipeg is going to bother you and unravel you, then what are you going to do when Nathan McKinnon skates straight at Ilya Lyubushkin?
Yeah.
I actually think that having that carrot dangling in front of them has been a good thing.
It should be a good thing. Yeah.
Oh,
should
yeah.
motivate you.
Yeah, I think it's been a good thing. Yeah.
Meanwhile, we could be at the other end. Let's say they've been struggling. They hit a rough patch and they lost 4 or 5 in a row. And we're sitting here going, boy, they've played hard. Their game's in the right spot. They just aren't pulling out victories. Wouldn't you rather be whining about style while they rattle off 7 straight wins and a 10-game point streak?
Yeah.
Anyway,
there's a lot of different ways this can go, right? This can be a footnote where some of our lovely listeners and super chatters will then tell us how all stupid we were 2 weeks ago. And then they'll come in and they'll just start cooking teams and that'll be great. Or this all is it's a snowballing effect and everything like that. But one of the great weird things about this is there is a legit playoff time switch that many players in the NHL have. When we talk about like guys take nights off, like players don't take nights off in the playoffs. And so I'm not saying anyone on the Stars in particular is taking a night off or going through the motions or whatever terminology you want to use, but players will go and tell you playoff time is when they lock in and when they go. And it is, so if you're feeling a little bit hurt, if you're dealing with whatever, everyone's dealing with some sort of injury right now. That's the typical hockey cliche. You're going to kind of game 70, you're thinking game 77 or 75, 76.
It was 7.
I don't want to hurt myself. 7?
Yep, you're right. It was 77.
Yeah.
It's our Luka game today. I know that hurts.
You don't want to put you'd rather be at your best in game 83. You'd rather push through that sprain, and I'm talking about just hockey players in general at that point. And so I hate that that's a reality in the NHL, but there's so many NHL teams right now going down the stretch where there's actually more intensity from like, so I'm sure the hockey game, the most watched hockey game in the world today, Ovechkin goes and breaks the goal scored record, right? Like, it's a big deal. They have a mid-game ceremony. They have all of that stuff. Capitals are playing like junk in that game.
Yeah.
They were awful.
And there's so many games this time of year where there's teams that are bad and out, and they get a little bit of energy from a young kid or whatever, where they seem to give a whatever more than the actual teams that are going to be playing real games. So
let's go to the next one.
Nope,
He's
we're
right.
done.
Oh, that's it?
Good night.
Thank you. It's a weekend. We're off tomorrow.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. No, Mark Stone, I'm not censoring you again. Change your name and we can send it again next time.
You want me to read it without putting it on the screen?
Go for it.
Sure.
Okay, give me the bing bong.
No.
Bing bong.
He deserves a bing bong. He put his
got him.
hard-earned money.
Bing bong.
Oh, we got double.
Mark Stone's something. If the Avalanche lose in the first round, does Pete come back next season?
I'm assuming that means if they lose to the Avalanche in the first round.
I think he's substituting
Is he calling the
Finnish
Stars
people for Asgard.
the home planet of Thor?
Well, Asgard is a people, not a place.
That's very true.
Yes,
Technically, it can be anywhere.
Yes.
From what?
Yes.
Boy, I set you up perfectly for that, did I not? That's like Thor Ragnarok. Come on, people.
Yeah.
Anything?
Sean, if they lose in the first
Yes.
round, is Pete DeBoer the coach next year?
Yes, he is, because Jim Nill is a very loyal man. But there might be, there could be someone else running the power play.
That's perfect timing. So we're off tomorrow. It's 6:15 pregame show. Sam will be over at the AAC. Luds will be back here. I'll be here. I have no idea what Sean's decided for his schedule yet. We give him way too much creative control.
Sean has no idea what he's decided for his schedule for tomorrow.
We're going to talk about it. We have a day off tomorrow. Sean, I don't want to talk about it tomorrow. I want to talk about it Tuesday, or you can call me later today.
Don't text me.
We've got another super chat.
Aye.
God.
Oh.
I'm lost. I'm not on the. Everything's off
Bing
the
bong.
screen. I'm ready
It's
to end
Tommy
the show.
Carlson.
Bing bong.
There it is.
It's another Brendan Smith year they went to the finals and lost after winning the cup. Bag skate and lots of film landed on the mic, John. Oh, he's trying to throw the hat, but we don't have the mic. Well, I guess technically you could.
Oh, crap.
That's his hat trick. He wants you to land it on the mic. Didn't make the camera again. He threw it into the corner over there. So it was definitely enough effort, but not anywhere near the mic. You're worried about energy at this time of year, so you don't bag skate guys going toward the playoffs. You're trying to get healthy and fresh for game 83. Film, yes. Practice, well, probably not tomorrow since they just had a back-to-back. So morning skate. And then let's keep an eye. Will we see Miro Heiskanen in a morning skate this week, or is it too early? Your microphone is in Lud's level over there.
It's too early.
Okay. For Sean, for Sam, for John, I'm Owen. Thanks for joining us. Tuesday night, pregame show, 6:15. Stars and Canucks from the AAC. 5 games left, and then we can really get upset
Enjoy your evening.
in the playoffs. Thanks for
finish
joining.
his tricks.
We all silly like the mayor.